And we are live. So today we have a very special webinar, very special Wakelet webinar, all around FE, which is further education. And we have some amazing Wakelet ambassadors that I'm going to introduce in just a second. They'll be teaching you and talking about how they use Wakelet in their roles and for further education, which I am very, very excited about. I think I'll learn a thing or two as well. So we'll get going in around a minute or so. But for now, everyone in the comments, let us know where you're joining from. We've got some, like I say, some very special guests who'll be joining from the UK, and they would love to see whereabouts in the world that you're joining from today. So I can see there, we've got Joy from Glasgow. Hello, Joy. We've got Selena there from Canada. I saw people from the Philippines. Hello, welcome everyone. Sheila from Guatemala. So many people. Lydia's there. Hello, Lydia. We were hanging out at TCA in Texas a couple of weeks ago. Ryan's here from New York. Vitaly from Ukraine. Welcome, Vitaly. Tajana, I cannot keep up. There's so many people. Thank you all so much for joining today's webinar. It means a lot to us. It's so great to see you all, and it sure does mean a lot to the speakers as well. I can see a few people smiling backstage, seeing everyone's comments. So without further ado, let's get into this amazing webinar around a really great topic. So I'd like to add each person to the stage. We have the amazing Sean, Chloe, and Beth. How is everyone?
Great, thanks. Really excited.
Awesome. I'm sure you've been looking through the chat, seeing everyone say hello from all over the world. They're also here to see you and learn about how you're using Wakelet, and hopefully it'll inspire them to use it in their classrooms, in their schools, in their universities as well. So I think it's best. Everyone's kind of said hello in the chat. How about we all say hello back and let everyone know who we are. So Sean, do you want to take it away?
Yeah, hello, my name's Sean, and I'm in East Sussex in the United Kingdom. Not far from Brighton, if you know it, and I work in an agriculture college, and I'm a forestry lecturer and digital advanced practitioner, and I'm really excited to share what I've been doing with Wakelet in FE today.
Amazing. And Chloe?
Hi everybody, thank you. Yeah, I am in the other side of England, in Liverpool. Yeah, I am in Liverpool. I'm a digital trainer and mentor and resource developer. And my background, well, I still work in FE. Absolutely love FE. It's where my heart is, particularly community learning. I used to be an ESOL teacher, English for speakers of other languages.
Awesome. And last but not least, Beth.
Hi everybody, I'm Beth. I've been working in further education for about 13 years now. And now I work with teachers who just getting into teaching, and my specialism is ed tech, so that's why I love Wakelet. And I'm based in Manchester, the second best city in England.
We'd say first here at Wakelet, Beth. But thank you all for joining. We really do appreciate it. And for those who don't know, hello everyone. I'm James. I'm head of community here at Wakelet, and it is my job really to put on things like this to kind of showcase the great minds and the knowledge that we have in this community of people like Beth, Sean, and Chloe, and showcase how they're using Wakelet day to day in their lives, in their jobs, and hopefully that will inspire some of you to learn and teach with Wakelet in many different ways. And to be honest, I'm very excited about today because we spoke about this briefly, but further education, not too many people will know what further education is, especially from around the world. So I'm glad that we're going to put a spotlight on FE, if not only for an hour, it's going to be a great hour all around further education. So Chloe, I think it might be a great place to start with what is further education for those that don't know.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, FE, further education, it's post-16, post-compulsory education, and it can include, sometimes it's like, what can't it include? It includes so much, including apprenticeships, colleges, ITPs, prison education, community learning. That's where my heart is, in community learning, in libraries, in multicultural centres. Absolutely love it. Wherever I could teach, I would teach. Give me a broom cupboard, let's go. And what kind of things you can learn in, well, as you can see from, you know, we've got a forestry tutor here. I didn't know that, Sean, by the way. You said that, I was like, oh, you know, love it, love it. I'm already like, oh, I want to pick your braid after this. We've got lots of, you know, different levels, everything from like basic literacy for adults and basic numeracy, all the way from, you know, to ESOL as well, learning, you know, learning English, to all the way up to degrees, so to HE as well. So a little bit of everything. And it is, yeah, it also include workplace training. It includes so much. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people don't realize what we do in further education, because we help so much. You know, those learners that maybe didn't pass a topic, like important topics like maths and English at school, we're able to support them with really good results. You know, supporting those refugees coming over, teaching them English, helping them get into jobs, those people that don't want to go to university, but they still need a little bit of a qualification to get into work. So it's a forgotten about place in education, but it's one of the best places.
Yeah, I'm smiling and going, yes, it is, Beth. Yeah, yeah. And yeah, it's forgotten about, but that's why we just bang on about it as much as we can. So that's why we're super excited to be here today, talking all about using Wakelet and FE.
Amazing. And yeah, that's one thing that I got from it, speaking to you three, and many others that use in Wakelet and FE, is that it covers such a vast range of topics, subjects, like say going into kind of adult life and work life as well. So what you guys are doing is amazing. And as we said before, this is why we want to give FE and you guys the platform to showcase how you're using it. And again, because it covers so much, the teachers all the way from America in kindergarten all the way to 12th grade, those people that are joining from the Philippines, India, all around the world can learn a thing or two from you three. So I'll hand it over to you. I'll be in the chat, everyone. So any questions that you have for Sean, Chloe, or Beth, I'll be there writing them down, and we'll jump into a Q&A towards the end. But for now, Sean, Chloe, Beth, take it away and enjoy.
Thank you very much, James. Well, I'm going to kick us off, and then I'm going to pass on over to Sean and Beth a little bit later on. What you can see right here, oh, StreamYard is so slick, isn't it? I love it. Thank you, James. Just like whooshing me in there with this Wakelet that I created, all about using Wakelet in FE. So I'm going to use it as a presentation tool for my little input here. So using Wakelet in FE, I'm going to start with why. What is so fantastic about Wakelet specifically for FE? I'm going to go into a read mode. I like this little read mode because it allows me to just present this right to you. So why Wakelet? These are my top three reasons why I really like using Wakelet specifically in this particular sector. One is that it's multimodal, so it's not just text on a screen. You know, we've got so much different kinds of media that we can add as teachers and as practitioners, but also learners can add as well. And I love all those little integrations too. So if you are a particular college that might have those integrations that can really just make it absolutely sparkle, then, you know, it's fantastic. So, and reactions. I don't know whether I know that was last year, but it's so right now as well. I absolutely love reactions. Absolutely love reactions in Wakelet. Yeah, so I love that you can react to a whole collection, but also the individual sections in it. Especially when I'm going to show you a few activities a little bit later that we can use reactions quite purposefully in an activity. The next is that the interface is really simple and intuitive, and that is really, really important because when we're thinking about embedding digital skills with and for our learners, we're thinking about digital literacies and basic digital literacies, and we can't just assume that people are coming into the sector and really already knowing, you know, how to use and feel really comfortable and confident with digital and with their devices. And I really like Wakelet because it's so simple and intuitive, and there's only a few buttons. Basically, that's it. There's not too many buttons to just, you know, make it really confusing. So if I'm going to do a one-off activity, it's really nice and easy to demonstrate and to get learners on board. I also really like that we've got the logos as well as text. So you've got that image and then you've also got text too. So That's really fantastic. Thank you very much, Wakelet. And the last one is all those different layers of collaboration, which just, I mean, it still blows my mind, all those different layers of collaboration that we've got going on. And that can be between yourself and learners. So it allows you to use Wakelet collections as activities. But also you could do lesson plans, scheme of works, things like that. With yourself. You could also collaborate with practitioners. I'm a big believer in sharing the workload, massive believer. So anytime we can kind of like work together with our peers to create lesson plans and schemes of work, you know, who's our so absolutely love it for that. So that's why when Spaces came on board, I was just like absolutely taken away. Absolutely love it. So they're my top 3 reasons why I really like using Wakelet. However, there's a few more highlights. And you may already know these. I'm just going to pick on a few, okay, that I really like. And one is the immersive reader. Like, it's just, I love the fact that you can, all the different things that you can do in immersive reader. And I like the fact that it's already inbuilt so that learners don't have to then go outside. And if they're accessing everything on the phone, then it's all right there for them. They don't have to be going and jumping around from here, there, and everywhere, because that can really cause a lot of confusion, especially if you've got pop-ups and cookies, and it can all become really overwhelming. And it goes back to that whole idea of it being a really simple and intuitive, really nice kind of like interfaces we've got there. GDPR is huge as well, as it is, you know, for all of us, no matter what sector we're working in, whether it's education or not, it's really important. But for many learners in the FE sector, they may not necessarily have things like an email address, or they may have an email address and a password, but they have no idea, can't remember what the password is. I don't know if there's any FE teachers here right now that are going, yes, yeah, that resonates with me. So something where they've got to log in can actually be a bit of a barrier. So I really like Wakelet because you can just give them a link, QR code or code, and just send it to them, and they're in. Jobs are good in. I love it. They don't need to log in. They don't need to have an account. So that's why I really like it. That's a few little highlights that are really FE specific. Now, how can we use it? I'm not going to go through all of these because I'm going to give you a link to this particular Wakelet, but there's loads of ways that we can use it in FE. And for me, I worked in community learning, so we had a few accredited courses, so courses that would lead to qualifications, but most of the time we were using something called RAPA. I don't know if there's any FE folks watching this today going, oh yes, I know that RAPA well. RAPA stands for Recognising and Recording Progress and Achievement. That's what RAPA stands for. But for many teachers in FE, it stood for something that could actually be quite scary to actually do. And we needed somewhere to put all the evidence of our learners learning, individual learning and as groups. And Wakelet allows you to just to collate all that RAPA evidence. You can collate in a space. You could have a learner's space and just have like a series of collections, and that be their RAPA evidence for that particular course. There's just, honestly, it's like there's so many things you can do with it. Where can we stop? I don't know if that resonates, Beth and Sean. It's all about stopping yourself, really, isn't it? Yeah. There's so many different things that we can do. So before I'm going to show you some of these things, okay? So I'm just going to exit out of read mode for now. There we are. Okay, I'm going to flick down and show you just the rest of this Padlet. There's a little video there that is about using Wakelet in FE. If you want to have a little look at it, then you can do. And oh, this is the thing that I wanted to show you. And I discovered this a little while ago. Someone's popped on here, because this is a collaborative Wakelet where I've asked folks in FE who are doing stuff with Wakelet to add stuff on here, basically. So it's not just things that I've done, but it's other folks adding some stuff on here. I noticed that this is a blog, okay? But if I go on to read mode, even though it's just a link, it goes straight into, so I can actually read the blog straight right there in Wakelet. You know what I was saying before about having it all in one place and not having to go in and out and all that kind of thing. I love that it's just here and now. And I can this is one of our colleagues, Sammy, wrote this fantastic blog about using Wakelet for CPD. It's right here in front of you. Absolutely love it. Love it. And Immersive Reader is on there as well too. So we've got a few resources to get started, but I'm going to skip to the end and just show you that look at all these fantastic examples, a collation of podcasts. I've used it as a blog for my advanced teacher status journey, newsletters. Oh, there's so many different ways. Report writing, and then a collation of GIFs for FE and event templates. And there's so much more. So have a little look through all of that. But I'm going to show you two things right now before I pass on to Sean to show you his amazing, fantastic stuff that he's been doing. Just going to show you two specific things that I'd really like to, here we are, just loading on up. I feel like we need elevator music. Does anyone want to do some elevator music? Do 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 do. just while it loads. So the thing that I'm going to show you in just a moment is a starter activity. Really simple starter activity. There's a few on here, but I'm going to go to where, there we go. Okay. And this is specifically for, I made this for an ESOL class, really simple. And the idea behind this is what we call activating schemata. And that is just before, at the beginning of a lesson, if I was going to do a lesson, perhaps about going to the doctors, then I might give them this collection with an image, just an image, no words, no language, and ask them. And this could be as homework, so it could be a flip task, or it could be as a starter task. And just ask them to look at the image and think about what language might be used in the lesson. What are we going to talk about today? So I could give them a link to this and just ask them to just let me know, look at this image. What do you see? Put different language in the bottom and let me know what you think. What do you think that kind of, what do you think we're going to be talking about today? I'm not going to say the word doctors. I'm not going to say the word hospital. I won't say the word appointment. I want to know from them what language they think and what they think we're going to be talking about. It could be full sentences. It could be one-off words, but it starts to just get the brain going. That's our activating schema. Okay, I'm going to go back and I'm going to show you one more. All right. Okay, and this is our individual learning plan. And I've also made this as a template as well. So if you go onto this collection and you really like it, then you can copy it. You know what I said before about sharing that workload? Absolutely love that copy button. So this is an individual learning plan that can help with RAPA, like I mentioned before. And I've popped a little bit of, a little bit of explanation there to help people write with using it. We'd put our course aims here, maybe some course resources. And then at this point, that could be copied for every single learner. So you could have a space that is one particular cohort or one particular, like if it's entry 1 ESOL, for example, you have that one space with all your learners in. And then you can see it all, but the learners can't necessarily, they can't see what, is on everyone else's Wakelet collections. And then it goes to something personal. And this is where the RAPA comes in. It's about their aims. I know I've given the course aims up here, but what are their aims? What do they want to get out of it? And this is taken and really embedded with their diagnostic and all their initial assessments that have been agreed with the learner. So what are their speaking, listening, reading, writing, and digital and personal goals? We can just pop them all in there. And then here I've popped a little section in that could be reflections after every single class. So what are the aims for every class? And then what are their reflections after each class? And then a little bit of tutor feedback there too. And that tutor feedback, because we're going back to what we were saying before about how Wakelet is multimodal, we can add so many different things onto here, can't we? So that tutor feedback, it could be a picture of written work. I'm thinking again with ESOL, like a picture of their written work, just uploaded onto here. And then we've got this RAPA evidence ready to go, just to rock and roll. Absolutely love it. Okay, so I did say that I'm not going to say any more. I'm not sharing any more because, Sean, you've got some awesome stuff to share, haven't you?
Yes, thank you very much, Chloe. And yeah, and actually it just ties in nicely to what I want to say, some of the things you said. So if James is happy to share my screen soon. So yeah, I wanted to mention on FE and being a forestry lecturer. So I was actually a forestry business owner, and I just loved working in the forest. But then I started getting into teaching others forestry skills, and I found myself training to become a teacher. And now I'm in FE, and I'm also a digital advanced practitioner, but I can also chop down a lot of trees if you need me to. But I teach T levels, and anyone who's in FE might recognise that it's a new government scheme to which is a mixture of classroom learning and on-the-job experience. And also, like Chloe said, it embeds that maths and English if they haven't got it. So the students have to still carry on with their maths and English along with this more vocational course, and mine being forestry, to just prepare learners for the future, really. And being a digital advanced practitioner, that really gives me a good place as well to prepare my learners, because they all come in mostly really just wanting to be in the forest, but I really try and embed the fact that, you know, the future is going to be jobs using technology. And I try to share things like drone planting with them and all these different exciting things that are happening in technology and with the machinery. So a T level is a technical qualification, and it includes core theory concepts, skills for an industry area, specialist skills, and then a placement with an employer. And like I say, students will also have to work with an employer as well. So just going to have a little bit, share this little, there's a minute's worth of music here. So as you can see, that's a thing link. So in a way, as a side note, it could be Wakelet app smashing, because I just love the way you can embed Wakelet into different platforms. And a bit like Chloe said, really, that jumping around and having to jump to different browsers, I think for me is a sort of an accessibility thing, really. So if the students can just stay within the one platform and just, dive in and just dig deeper into that one platform rather than jumping around to screens and getting lost. And especially virtually, that really helps. So just going to dive into my thing link here. And as you see, it's all embedded with a bit of a lag, but hopefully it speeds up. So we've got a Microsoft Sway here, but I've actually got my Wakelet embedded into the Microsoft Sway, embedded into the thing link. So real app smashing going on there. And so I wanted to share how, so this is a practical forestry course, but I needed to teach the students tree ID. And I could have just sat there and got them to continuously look at PowerPoints and just learn it and sort of get it into their heads. But I wanted it to be hands-on. And I always say to the students, the best way to learn tree ID is to teach tree ID. So Wakelet, when I discovered Wakelet, it was the perfect way to get students creating content and then sharing it with their peers. And so if I go down a bit. Yeah, I'm still whirring, so can't move it, sadly. Okay. No, that's just wearing. Let's try that again. Not so slick in this so far. Come on. Out in the wild.
Do a little bit of elevator music.
Yeah. So I'll play that tune again. Oh, here we go. Here we go. So, yeah, communication and creativity. So, Flipgrid and Wakelet. So, I had the students learning about trees, discovering trees, and then I had them going on site and discovering those trees. And I'd get them to use Flipgrid to identify the tree, or the tree they thought was the tree. And then because they had to learn the common name and the scientific name, I had them using the immersive reader within Flipgrid, within the Wakelet, to practice the scientific naming of the tree. And then a step on from that, I even started using Read in Progress, which I told you about, Beth, to actually get them practicing the Latin names for the tree ID. So it really sort of, you know, went in on itself and just deeper and deeper and just embedding that knowledge. So when they do, so with T levels, you learn quite a lot within the year, and then you've got like an endpoint assessment really. So to embed that in and giving those underpinning those skills, this platform was perfect for that. So as you can see, there's some Wakelets that they've created there, Flipgrids within the Wakelet to share the tree ID. So that was creativity and communication. Oh, come on. Oh.
It's just because you're presenting and you're on a video at the same time, your computer can't handle it.
Right. It's normally a bit faster than this. Oh, come on. You might give me some extra time. Okay, so yeah, critical thinking and curation. So I would send them out with the list of trees, and then they'd have to go on site to find what tree they thought was the correct tree, and then they'd gather evidence. So with Tree ID, I used to call it like CSI, crime scene investigation. So you go to the tree, you sort of look at the leaf. Oh, do you know it from the leaf? Maybe not. You look what's on the floor. Maybe there's some seeds laying around. And then maybe if there's no seeds, maybe look at the bark. So kind of like a CSI, I always say to the students. And so I'd send them out with their tree list. And then the critical thinking and the curation would come in. And these are all the guys' examples of, there you go. They've got the different trees, and there's the college there, all curated nicely, and you know, creativity in there. And they would share these with each other. And it just was really embedding that knowledge really. And, real hands-on practical course as well. So the guys took to this, and to the fact that I could say to them as well that you're going to need these 21st century skills in the future. The jobs in the forestry sector don't exist yet, and these skills are going to be so invaluable to you. We've only got to 4, so hopefully I can get to there. And I will share this if you wanted to have another look in your own time. Apologies for the lag. I just wanted to mention something on the the embedding. So it's like I said, it's just accessibility. And as you notice as well, I've shared this in dark mode. So when you share a Wakelet and want to embed it, you can do that in dark mode. And I have everything in dark mode really, personally, because just my eyes go crazy from from looking at the white screen, to be fair. So yeah, for me personally, it's accessibility, and but yeah, I'm sure for the students too, it just helps with the eyes. And I think, I don't know whether there's some research on sort of dark mode, whether that's a good thing for people, but so this one's just working. So yeah, so the collaboration. So during lockdown and during any hybrid learning, I can put the students in breakout rooms, and then I actually give them a Wakelet to work on in that breakout room. And I differentiate that between sort of groups of learners, so of different abilities. And then further down on that little screen there that's wearing away, I would add in, so for example, green would be if you add pictures and text and other information to that Wakelet, that would be the sort of the higher achievement. But then if you just wanted to add just pictures, so without actually letting them know, that's what they could do, but it differentiated between those learners with, you know, without excluding anyone really. Just try that once more. I've got plenty of time, and I yet. No, let's move on to last, number 4. So the big reveal. Ah, come on. Okay, I might be able to find this here. Give me a sec. Quicker without the video. As you can see, dark mode. So no, it's not the video, Beth. Look, it's wearing even on my browser. I don't know if you've got lag your end, have you?
No, it's working perfectly. But everybody's saying brilliant presentations. They love Sway. They love the integration. So don't worry if it's taking a minute. Everybody's loving it.
Yeah. So yeah, this last one is a ThingLink map. And so yeah, so with all the created content, with all the Wakelets, the students then actually went on site, and I created a ThingLink of a map of the college, and they actually went on site, discovered where the trees were that they'd correctly ID'd, and then they added their Wakelet to this ThingLink map. And it was awesome, and it got chosen by ThingLink back in 2020 as one of their sort of their projects that they really enjoyed, yeah, for sort of collaboration and curation and just getting students working together, really. So come on. Okay, that's going to lag, isn't it? So where is it? Here we go. Oh, that's a lot of views, 2,000 views. So here's the map. So there's the college. Here's all the Wakelets embedded into the different areas. This is definitely me here in Sussex. So these are all Wakelets of the trees that they curated. Here's their Flipgrid responses. Here's a forestry article they did. Here's a 360 video here. So that's pretty awesome. So that, yeah, the guys loved doing this, and then they could keep underpinning that knowledge as they as they kept on practicing their trees throughout the year, I'd sort of send them out and get them to identify the trees in different times of the year. So yeah, so for me, Wakelet, being able to embed it, and there you go. There's a silver birch, Betula pendula, just on the principal's lawn, and there's the students' work embedded within that map. And so, yeah, in terms of sort of multimodal communication, that's a really awesome thing that the students could create, share, and then, yeah, something they can keep really is just such a good momentum to sort of move on to their next course or within their sector really. And then, yeah, just using those 21st century skills and what is normally, when the kids turn up, is a very practical course. And so, yeah, it was just such a privilege to be able to use Wakelet and these digital skills with the students. Thank you. Beth, over to you.
Thanks, Sean. That was really good. I learned some new things there, that you can put it inside lots of different other apps. So that's good. Right. So a little introduction to me, and this is a little introduction to how I came across Wakelet, my Wakelet history. So I am a Wakelet ambassador. If anybody would like to be a Wakelet ambassador, I really recommend it if you use Wakelet a lot, mainly because you get a really nice t-shirt and lots of other advantages to being a Wakelet ambassador. And I really am a Wakelet ambassador. I tell everybody about Wakelet, how wonderful it is. I use it all the time, and use it for lots of different things, which I'll show you now. So my job role currently is I'm a teaching and learning coach in further education and higher education sector. So that means that I work with teachers and show them how they can use different techniques to improve teaching and learning. And my specialism, as I said before, is education technology. It's something I've been interested in when I did my degree. I most recently worked on a digital and blended learning project, and that was funded by the Department for Education in the UK. And that was for us to look at all the different ways that digital and blended learning can actually improve learning outcomes. And this is when I came across Wakelet. I have been a teacher for 13 years in FE. My specialism is English and ESOL, that's English for speakers of other languages, but I have also worked in offender learning. I've mainly worked with 14 to 19-year-olds because I love the young people. But I have also worked in a primary school in an international school, so I did a bit of EAL, English as an additional language, and Cambridge English. My degree was in multimedia technology and graphic design, so that's why I'm really interested in anything techie and designy. I do have a podcast called Digital Natives in FE, and I talk about Wakelet probably on every single one of them. Sean's been on one of my episodes. Hopefully Chloe will come on an episode soon. Feel free to Google that and find me. So my journey into Wakelet, it was actually Chloe that introduced me to Wakelet. So when I was working on the digital and blended learning project, I had a lot of research to do and things like this. I'm just going to share the tab 1 minute. I'm the same problem as you, Sean, now. So yeah, I had a lot of research to do, and I had to collate a lot of different websites and images and just anything I could find. I needed somewhere to put them. So Chloe showed me Wakelet. Can I just check, am I showing the tab that says blended learning, pedagogy and statistics?
No, you're still on digital natives. It was.
Okay, it's okay. It's because I've clicked share this tab instead, but it's not doing anything.
There is real lag today.
Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to stop sharing and share my whole screen instead, if that's okay. Okay, I should be sharing my whole screen now. Great. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thanks, Sean. Okay, so basically, originally, I was just using Wakelet as a private place for me to collate things, a bit like Pinterest. So as you can see, I've just got loads of different links here about everything that I looked at to do with digital and blended learning. And what's brilliant about Wakelet is, can you see in the top right, I've got a little Wakelet in my Microsoft Edge browser. So this is an extension that you can put on Microsoft Edge, and I think you can put it on Google Chrome, things like this, just search for extensions. So if you come across a website that you want to save, but you don't want to keep emailing it to yourself, you don't want to, you know, have to remember it some way, somehow, all I do is put everything into Wakelet collections. So this little widget here means that I can just click on that. I think, oh, I like this website. This is interesting. So I just click on there, and it automatically brings up all your collections, and all you need to do is hover over it and click save, you know, choose the one you want. It's really easy. You can do any collection you want. You can choose different spaces to put them on. And while you're in there, you can also create a new collection. So you might think, well, actually, that website doesn't fit inside any collection I've got, but you could create yourself a new collection there and then. I also use this as well for when I might be at home and I'm just browsing on LinkedIn on my phone, which I do a lot after work. And I might think, oh, that's really good, but I'm not working, so I don't want to start emailing it to myself. I've got the Wakelet app downloaded on my mobile phone. So all I need to do is click share. So you just share the website as you normally would. And as it comes up with all different different apps that you can share on. And one of them is Wakelet, and it works in exactly the same way. So it's dead quick, dead easy. So originally I just started off doing that. But then as I looked into it, so I'm going to share my next collection, was that, do you know what? I think this is going to be a really good way to use blogging. So I was asked as part of the project I was working on to create a blog about me and what I do. And I thought, do you know what? Wakelet's really good because you can put so many different things in there. I'm not a big reader. I'm not really into text. I like pictures. I like videos. So, you know, Wakelet for me was the best thing to do. So as you can see, I've got text here. And as Chloe said, the immersive reader, click on the 3 dots, click immersive reader. It's one of the best things, one of the best technologies I know for learners who struggle to read. But I started using it because it's like listening to a podcast, because like I said, I hate reading, but I really love listening to podcasts. I'm really good at listening. So I would use the immersive reader to read things back to myself or to read blogs like this. So that's a brilliant thing that Wakelet got integrated in there. I also like to split up my paragraphs by using GIFs. So again, love the fact that we can use GIFs in Wakelet. I just think it makes it more interesting for the reader. So even though there is a lot of text, you can trick people into think they're not reading too much because we've got the GIFs in there. Okay, then at the end of the project, so I worked on this project for 2 years, but I had to come up with a report. So Chloe mentioned it before about report writing. So I put everything, all my report writing just went on Wakelet. So this was an image that I made myself. So not only can you insert images that is already on Wakelet, but you can insert your own images. So I've got that on there. I've got like a heading here, so you can put whatever heading you want. So I could sort of use this as a headline, some rhetorical questions here. And again, what I talked about listening. So I've put use immersive reader if you find this easier. because I found, as very much in the pandemic, when we were always online, we were always looking at screens, I thought, I just don't want to look at screens anymore. I just want to close my eyes and just listen. And that's where the immersive reader comes into play. And it also, I want to say about the immersive reader, I actually used it to proofread my work. So I was able to listen to the reader, and then I could see where I might have missed like a full stop or a comma, because I do that a lot. I miss commas somewhere. So immersive reader in Wakelet was brilliant just for me to proofread my work. I also use, like I said, about multimodal. So I created little Flipgrid clips that I kind of used the idea of like a YouTube blogger. And I just thought, again, that it's something different than just reading text or a report. And that's, again, why, you know, Wakelet was brilliant for that. And then you can even add links in here. So I have a link to my Wakelet, which I'm going to show you later. I was even able to embed other Wakelets. So I don't know if you know, but you can actually embed. So if I scroll a little bit further down, I created another report, which was the impact report. And I just embedded this inside a Wakelet collection. So you can insert Wakelet collections inside a Wakelet collection, and that gives people the opportunity to click on it and be able to view it if they choose to. So there's a few in there. And like I said, it's all multimodal, works really quickly. And it also works as a presentation, just like I'm doing today. No need for PowerPoint anymore. Okay. So now, because I predominantly work with teachers, and not a lot of teachers get to see me a lot because they're busy teaching. So what I find is that if I'm writing blogs and share that, they're able to read it in their own time. And the Wakelet homepage that you have for your profile is great for me. So I will just link people to this. And this is almost like my own personal website. So it's really good because you can have a description of yourself. You can add your social media pages into there with links so that people can go on external links. And then as long as your collections are public, you're able to share them on your profile so that if you've got lots of different blogs or lots of different collections, people can view this at their leisure. And as you can see here, I've also got it under headings. So I've got my digital and blended learning blogs. So they come under here. And then I have things about the digital and blended learning projects. You see I've got 2 collections for that. And then I also have a section which is just collections of different things, like what blended learning is, useful Wakelet blogs that I've found on Wakelet, inspirational talks. I'll put those videos on and there. And that's just a great way for me to share a bunch of blogs at the same time. So the next thing, so what I'm doing at the moment is I'm supporting progress coaches. So progress coaches, you may know as tutorials. For those outside of the UK, you're not an FE. Tutorials are where they work with a tutor who might help them with employability skills, or we discuss things about, as you can see on here, like mental health, managing money, well-being. So what I do, I support those teachers. Sorry, they're not teachers. So because they're not teachers, I help them. So I curate their resources and they can work on this just as a presentation. So for example, we did LGBTQ one session, and all they need to do, I share the link, and then all I need to do is open it up. It's unlisted, but you could make it public. And then as you scroll down, it actually goes through sort of like just the lesson plans. We've got a starter activity, and I've linked in the starter activity. So all they need to do is click on that, and then they can do the quiz with the students. We've got the main presentation. So I've got YouTube videos in there, some teacher notes for them. And what else I do in there, you can also embed some links, and you can also embed, if you have a PowerPoint presentation or you have a file that maybe they need to download and print, I also embed this in here. So what you can do for that is when you click to add something, as you can see, there's lots of different things you can do here. I use OneDrive because our college are a Microsoft college. So you just click on OneDrive. So everything that you're hosting in OneDrive, you can just link it straight to Wakelet, and then anyone can upload it. And that's how I use that. And what's really good as well about this is that they can look at any of these sessions whenever they want, because I actually embed them inside OneNote. So OneNote or Notebook, Class Notebook is a Microsoft app. And all I need to do is click share. And there's loads of different ways to share Wakelet. So like I said, Sean uses his on ThingLink. So you can share it as a QR code. Really brilliant if you want learners to, you could print out the QR code, stick them around the classroom, and have learners go up and scan the QR code, and then they're able to, you're just getting them up and about. I think after the pandemic, especially a lot of young people have got used to sitting down, not doing anything, staring at screens. And I find augmented reality, so using QR codes, is really good. So that's an option there. We've also got an embed, and what an embed does, like Sean showed, is you can just copy the embed code and put this inside anything you like. So I use it in OneNote. We use a virtual learning environment called Canvas. You may have one called Moodle, or there's Blackboard. But you're just able to embed this Wakelet collection, and then every time, and say for example, I found something new that I wanted to update, I don't need to go back into the virtual learning environment and upload it again, because as soon as I upload any new thing on my Wakelet collection, automatically updates on there, because it's ultimately linked to that page. So why would I use anything else? It's so quick and easy. If you're a curator like me, or a blogger, and you just want to make things quick and easy for yourself, Wakelet is a really good option for that. Finally, I just wanted to show you how I used Wakelet to support my digital champions. So I worked for my last college. We had a range of digital champions. And Wakelet really helped me out with that. They actually sent us loads of swag. So we got t-shirts, stickers and pens for them, which was brilliant. And it really helped the learners to feel, a sense of worth, because they had those. And what I did with the digital champions was used a Wakelet collection, and they were able to look at all the information. So what is the aim of Student Digital Champions? Got my gifts in there because I want to make it fun for, these are young people, so I wanted to make it fun. Some ground rules, but putting a little GIF in there so it doesn't look too bad. And then also links to areas they can do. I also, just finally, I asked them to do a digital champion portfolio. So they actually used Wakelet to any training that they did. So I created kind of a template for them to do. So I made the little template for them. And then what I'm asking them to do is copy the collection. So that's another thing that you can do in Wakelet, is ask people to copy your collection, and they can use bits of it and add their own in. So who am I? And they would copy their collection, they would add their own details in, and then they could add their certificates in there that they've achieved. They could also write their own little blogs. And that's it from me.
Beth, those tutorial Wakelets are awesome. So I think in FE that's like a legal requirement, some of those tutorials, and with my students in particular, it's quite hard to teach that content sometimes just on a PowerPoint. So to create it in Wakelets is a really more engaging way. So well done for that one.
Thanks.
Yeah, that was awesome. Thank you, Beth, Sean, and I don't know where Chloe's gone, but again, thank you so much, Chloe. I don't know if you guys can see the chat, and definitely check it out after if not, but people are loving the ideas. And what you kind of said at the start about further education, encompassing all those subjects and topics and kind of life, I think people have grabbed ideas from that for their own subjects, for their own classrooms. So people are loving that. So thank you all so much. Just wanted to touch on this because a lot of people have been saying in the chat, they've been talking about templates. And I know Chloe mentioned templates and yourself, Beth. I think Chloe might have been maybe better to ask with students, but how do you think people how students react towards having a template and being able to build on top of that rather than having to start from scratch?
Yeah, I think they definitely need, a little bit of help. I mean, even teachers do as well. Some of us have maybe a more creative mind, and because of my background, I can sort of see something and see its potential. But sometimes teachers and students just need a little bit of something to keep them going. So yeah, for me, when I did the Digital Champions, having those templates was a chance for them to just fill in their own details rather than thinking, oh, where do I start with this? And especially if they were new to Wakelet, they were able to see how it worked and what they could do.
Yeah, and I also use templates. I use the music one and the mood board as a sort of a break really from learning. And yeah, the students loved it, and they particularly loved sharing their music as well. But I wasn't so keen on the music, but they absolutely loved sharing what music they were listening to. And yeah, I spent quite a long session them just sharing the music off the music template.
Yeah, and I notice as well, because when I do my podcast, I put it into a Wakelet collection, I put all the episodes in there. And if you link it from Spotify, it actually puts like a little Spotify widget in, which is, I can just play it through Spotify from Wakelet. So that's really good as well. I've forgotten about that.
Yeah, it's a nice little hidden kind of feature that people discover once they add it in. But yeah, no, I agree with templates. People do seem to like them, and again, it's everyone, not just students, but teachers, as you're saying there, Beth. Just kind of on that point, then, if you were to say, if people in the chat and some of them are new to Wakelet and they're looking to kind of get involved and either use it with their teachers, like yourself, Beth, or with their students, like Sean and Chloe. How would you say, what would be your top tip to get started on Wakelet? Would it be start with a template, or would it be another way?
Yeah, just with any technology, start off small. So like I said, when I first started, it was just a place for me to like keep all those little websites that I was emailing to myself. And I started off that way, just as a place to go to for those links. And then looking at it, I thought, oh, how can I make this? And I saw other people's ideas. So these webinars that you've been putting on for the last few years, have really given me those ideas. And so it can be a bit overwhelming, just like with any technology. It's overwhelming if you try and do everything all at once, but just start off small, even if it comes to just saving a few little images in there, a few little tweets that you're interested in. What do you think, Sean?
Yeah, so yeah, definitely start off with Wakelet and use it and add your own things. And then, yeah, if you want to use it to your students, import student accounts and start teaching them how to use it, really. And then what you can do is you can create more engaging content, really, and sort of encourage them to be creative. And top tip is get involved with this community as well. So this community is such an encouraging community, and just sort of bounce off each other. And yeah, once you get going, there'll be no stopping you.
Yeah, I totally agree. And that's exactly why the webinars exist. For everyone in the chat, again, please do check out the chat because everyone is loving the ideas. And everyone else in the chat, please share your ideas too. We all want to learn from each other. And yeah, we'll always continue to put these webinars on to allow the likes of Beth, Sean, and Chloe to share their ideas. So all of you, by the way, thank you so much for doing that. That was incredible. I learned a lot of things there. I've got a page full of notes again, as I always do from these webinars. And I learned a lot about FE, as I said, even right at the beginning throughout this. And I know everyone else in the chat did too. So thank you all on both. I know Chloe's somewhere I can see us. So thank you again, Chloe. We did have a little reflection activity, didn't we? And I'm happy to share. I don't know if you want to share it,
Yeah,
Beth.
if you can share it, yeah, that'd be great. So what we just wanted people to reflect on the session. So as long as you're logged into Wakelet, we'll share this link and just vote. So let's reflect. How do you feel after this session? Do you feel like the pug dog? Do you feel like the broken, what's that? Playmobil, is it? Playmobil doll? Lego, sorry. Have we shared the link to this?
Yes, the link is in the chat. So everyone, please click on that. And as Beth said, react to how you're feeling right now after the webinar. We'd love to check it out and continue this conversation as well into Twitter. I have put each person's Twitter handle and Wakelet handle in the chat. So Beth, Sean, and Chloe can expect a few more followers on Twitter and Wakelet now. And yeah, just go ahead and check out all of the other awesome examples and collections that they couldn't show today. We only have an hour, and I'm pretty sure if we'd show everyone's collections and everything they've done, we'd probably be here for a couple of days. So check them out after this and see what you think. And again, lastly, thank you for the speakers, Beth, Sean, and Chloe for joining, and everyone in the chat. You've been absolutely amazing. The certificate link is in the description. And if you fill it out, we'll obviously send you a certificate of attendance, as well as the resources that Beth, Sean, and Chloe shared as well. So everything will be sent towards you, and you can go ahead and have a look through their profiles and give them a follow too. So again, thank you everyone so much. We have a community showcase coming up in 2 weeks' time on next Thursday in 2 weeks. So definitely join us for that one. You'll learn some more ideas and be inspired even more, just like this one. So again, thank you all so much, and we'll see you all very, very soon.
Thanks,
Bye.
James. Thanks, everyone.